What's the difference between assets and liquid assets? And you better know the exact truth. Stay to the end of the video and I'm going to give you some very strategic tips and techniques that most of you don't even know exist, because you don't know, which is why you're here on this channel. So the three things specifically I'm going to talk about is what is an asset? What's the difference between an asset, a hard asset, and liquid asset? Big difference, and you better have some money rules to validate and understand what you're doing. And then number three, which is my favorite topic, how do you own nothing but control it all, the Rockefeller style? And it's really what we teach is a lifestyle of living in the alternatives, living millionaire life. It's a lifestyle. It's not a program. It's a process that you and your family are going to grow into over the next, 3 to 5 years, which is what I promise in the Millionaire Maker, is how do you become a 3 to 5 year millionaire? And why would you do it all if you're not going to have a legacy to pass it on to, and rules that those kids are not just trust fund babies? Because that's where only 2 generations ever survive a legacy. So that would be a lot of work on a lifetime to give to some brats. Not okay. So what is an asset? Anything of financial value to you. So what's interesting is you have depreciating or appreciating assets, right? And a lot of people don't know the difference. So yeah, you can depreciate your car. I depreciated my plane, which was an enormous depreciation loss schedule, but that was very strategically done by tax strategists. So again, a lot of you have CPAs or you use a franchise store to do your taxes, or worse, you're trying to do them yourself. You're not activating 81,000 pages of the tax code. So an asset in our definition of the Millionaire Maker, it's something that can produce passive income or additional income. It actually increases, appreciates in value, and can throw off cash flow. So you want both. Now, what's the difference between a hard asset and a liquid asset? Well, let's give you a little list of hard assets. It's land, it's your real estate, it's equipment, art, vehicles, jewelry, collectibles. Now, vehicles, jewelry, and collectibles and art, all those categories, they also could just be junk, lifestyle stuff, right? So if your art doesn't appreciate, your vehicles don't appreciate, your jewelry doesn't appreciate, your collectibles don't appreciate. And some of you, you get rid of your stuff really early. This what's hot and fun right now, which is super fun. My kids haven't activated it yet, but they have the original old Pokemon cards, and they are worth money these days. It's fascinating to watch what retains value and what doesn't. So just be mindful when you're buying things, what you're buying them for, and is there a return, right? To me, your house, your home, your primary residence, yeah, it's an asset, but really you can't cash flow it unless you let people come live with you, or you rent part of your property. Like in a different video, I talked about a strategy of you doing tiny homes. If you actually have several acres, maybe one area you put 2 or 3 tiny homes and rent them out independently to other people, which means if you're going to do that on your core property, your home should probably get in an LLC or some different structure. So again, I have an expert team around me. If you ever want to know any of these things and how to do it, go to askloral.com, type in your question, type in your request, and get on a phone with me or one of our expert team members. We'll help you navigate. See, the problem in this world of money and finance is every strategy is as independently offered by different companies for different commissions and fees. So how do you navigate executing a strategy in your life when you don't know? Which is why integrated wealth systems exist, is we want to integrate your team, integrate the conversation for your plan. What do you want at the end of your life? Why generate all this money? Yeah, you want to have a big lifestyle, but I do it backwards than what you're taught. I generated assets, then I got a big lifestyle. I didn't have a big lifestyle until I was a millionaire, and even multi-millionaire. I really didn't ramp it until I started having kids and then really realized I want to do the single mom thing different. I want to go to every continent with my children before they're 18 years old. So we did 6 of the 7 continents. We chose to not go to Antarctica at this point, but when the world opens up a little bit, we're going back to some safaris. If you haven't been, that should be a bucket list. The greatest thing you'll ever see, those beautiful animals right next to you. Liquid is cash, or very, very quick liquidity. This is where you've got to read this book. I have money rules, due diligence, risk analysis. Like, understand your rules about money. And a lot of times you don't understand what an asset is in liquidity. So you might buy a piece of real estate or you invest in a fund. They're using that money. Like if you invest in gas and oil, they're using that money to drill the well. You can't get it back. You can't call and say, oh, I need my cash back. You don't get it back. So when you invest in the alternatives, it's usually working capital for the project, whether it's buying a company, you're building a fintech company. I'm a part of an ownership of Gravy Stack. So click on the link below. We're in a soft launch right now, but it's a kids bank. It's going to make Greenlight look like they haven't known what they're really doing. It's based on a lot of my work and another gentleman, Chad's work. Never pay your kids an allowance. How do you do missions and gigs and bring money and business into your family? And it's a bank where the kids get a debit card. They earn, they can save, they can do charity. It's fabulous. So click on that link and get the Gravy Stack app for you and your kids. And it's super fun. It's a little avatar-like. So there's kind of a Minecraft, feel to it. Super, super fun. And there's a gremlin, a green gremlin that's going to come around and give you bad deals. So your kids have to assess deals as they get older. Super cool platform. And then I'm going to give you another link for a software called iFlip. And you can use your iFlip for you personally. Your company can have an iFlip account. Your Roth IRA or 401k can have an iFlip account. So you can use that in 48 hours to liquidity. So when we mean liquid, it's how fast can you pull your cash. Now you could say, well, the stock market's is liquid because you can put your money in, but you're going to buy at a certain level. And if it goes down, do you really want to sell? There's volatility in that. And you get capital gains treatment when you pull. So you have to decide what liquidity means to you. There are some people who having $10,000 or $50,000 of cash is good. People who have multi-million-dollar companies, they need, they feel good with 500 in cash or $1 million in cash. Some of you out there going, that's crazy. Who would ever keep that in cash? When your overhead's $200,000 to $300,000 a month in business bills, you do keep that liquidity. So this is about you and your companies knowing what liquidity do you need. When do you need it? How can you invest with some liquidity pullback? And all of that is part of your paperwork as you start really growing up in this conversation. There's so much I have to teach you, but first you have to lean in, subscribe to my channel, and learn the basics. So I'm here 5 days a week, 10 to 12 minutes every day. Click the notification button, share it with your family, share it with your friends, and start a conversation about money. Be intentional about it. Make things happen instead of let things happen to your life. Successful people don't just allow their success to chance. Right? They design it, they lead it, they control it. And I'm not talking control in a negative way. When I say you want to own nothing and control it all, that's means because you're leading. You're the shareholder, you're an officer, you're a director of those companies. You have control of a company that's an independent tax filing unit than you. So why do you need to make a bunch of money? I don't own a phone. I don't own a vehicle. I don't own things. Companies own things because they can use those as deductions against the income. So obviously all these deductions are sexy and amazing, but you have to make the money. So if you are needing to make money, click on the link to our Millionaire Intensive. Come, let me teach you how to make money. I do this class every 3 weeks. Learn to make money on command so you never have liquidity or cash flow problems. You just know how to do it. And that is the ultimate freedom that you can give yourself. So again, more on how do you own nothing, control it all. Companies make money, individuals get taxed. So you personally making money doesn't allow you a lot of tax strategy. When your company makes money, you can activate 81,000 pages of tax code, and your companies can do business with each other. So you literally become your own bank, keeping money inside your own structures legally under corporate compliance veil. See, a lot of you have an LLC. If we were on a live Zoom or a live broadcast, I'd ask you to put it in the chat. How many of you have an LLC, S Corp, C Corp, or limited partnership in the United States? If you're other countries, just how many of you have corporate structure, proprietary, limited, number company, corporations, partnerships, whatever they're called in your country. Most of you have them. You're not using them right. You're not paying bills, what I call forecasting right. You're not structured and really executing, learning with the kids. So when I wrote the book, Make Your Kids Millionaires, I go into detail. There's checklists in here from 0 to 20. So I don't care if you're 45 years old, buy the book and say, well, what could I, should have, would have done between 0 and 20 and catch up. You can get all that caught up fairly quickly. So now your foundation's strong. And then bring it into your kids, bring it into your family. If you don't have some, get some. Kids are tax deductible. They're fabulous. Let me help you set your lifestyle, your process up for a wealth cycle and to own nothing but control everything and become a multimillionaire. At least become a 100,000-aire. A millionaire is not that difficult in 3 to 5 years, but it's different than you've ever been taught, right? It's not difficult, it's different. So again, at any point, enjoy the gifts, enjoy Gravy Stack, iFlip, the tickets to my event, lots of gifts in this video. Go to AskLoral.com now, ask any question 24/7 for free, or join my membership, $17 a month, and come live. Let me talk to you. Let me do a business quick money makeover on you and keep you moving down this journey. Talk to you tomorrow.